Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mike here with Signals Trading, and today is the weekly update for the week of 6/6/21. So, in these videos, what I do is I go over the weekly plan and strategy as to how to successfully prepare yourself in this upcoming week for all scenarios. First things first, we go over the weekly plan from last week, and we just briefly went over how that played out, so you can kind of see how these prep you. Then we go over the larger term time frame, and this is more for swing traders or people that just hold crypto. And then we'll get into the nitty gritty and the TA nerd stuff for the shorter term time frame. So first things first, we just made a new Instagram page, so give us a follow at Ninja Signals Trading. Some good stuff there. Once in a while, I post nuggets that I don't post in the group or anywhere else. So give that a follow. And we have a full-on YouTube channel now. So give us a like, subscribe, and follow. You know how it goes. Create 5 more accounts. Like and subscribe and follow. All jokes aside, so okay, here's what we talked about last week, right? Here, I'll always give you the levels that you want to look for. These levels are very important. For example, this weekly level, we got 2 major bounces off of it. The swing trades from last week, obviously we have not hit, but they're still valid. Swing long, swing short. This larger time frame analysis still hasn't changed. So long story short, I still think there's a much higher probability that we're in a bull market. But as long as we're down here, there's still a much lower probability, but a very real chance that that we could head into a bear market. So we have to prepare for worst case scenarios. But just to make sure I'm explaining myself clearly, I still think we're in a bull market. But we still have to have downside protection as long as we're down here. So Fibonacci time pivots, still valid. I'll go over that a little bit later. We're still inside this range. And this is what's important. So last week, this is what I posted. So we are in this overall range, right? From about 42.5 to 30K. And, I saw that we're going to be forming a symmetrical triangle. And I gave you guys a heads up to this. I told you guys that we're going to be most likely doing a fake out. And then a lot of eyes are going to be on the symmetrical triangle, and there's going to be fake outs, right? And we actually traded this very well due to game theory, which I'll show you the videos that I explain this. But we literally have 100% hit rate trading this triangle, and last week was a phenomenal week. I'll give you guys an example right here, right? So we go up, we go up, we go up. Okay. So last week in the video, I talked about potential triangle fake out, and we were approaching the top side. Okay, so here was the plan. Okay. And here was the triangle. I thought it would fake out to the downside first, but it faked out to the upside. So as we were approaching the upside, so this is the trade that I give, and there it is. Social media started saying, hey, here's a symmetrical triangle, break up to 50K. I had this short exactly where the triangle is, and check this out. So if anybody's in here and wondering who this Mercius guy is, I'll just leave the memes there. So let me find this. Actually, I'm gonna pause this video until I can find it. All right, so I said, here we go. So I said, Mercius said he was going to call Elon, pump to 39.1K, then dump it. Still waiting, bro. So lo and behold, where's our charts here? So we're in this symmetrical triangle. We had that short position from 39.1K, and lo and behold, we pump up there. Everybody had the symmetrical triangle breakout, Everybody was long. That played perfectly into our liquidity for shorts. And right about here, lo and behold, Elon Musk tweets about Bitcoin and dumps it, right? So that's the, for stuff like that, check out our, game theory video, which is cryptocurrency market secret psychology and game theory. So we have the part 1, and then we actually have the part 2 covering that, right? So we're able to with this game theory and market psychology, we're able to we're able to cover that. We had a few other things to where um, it's the saga of Mercius. You guys could check it out in the group. So pretty much everything Mercius has been calling has come true. So can we go down to the 34.7-ish area before pumping? And there we go. So that's that hashtag Mercius. He's our resident Bitcoin whale that literally controls the market tops and bottoms. But the other part was, with a symmetrical triangle breakout, we came out to the bottom again, came out to the bottom of that triangle, and then we faked out into our long zone, and then we actually had a wonderful trade off of that. So with symmetrical triangles, last week, if you guys remember, I told you, when we're in a range, when we come to the bottom, look for longs. When we come to the top, look for shorts, right? So this is the same thing. When we're in a symmetrical triangle, this is a neutral formation. When we're at the bottom, you look for longs or buys. When you're at the shorts, when you're at the top, look for shorts. Or if you're a hodler, take profit targets, right? Or scaling in down here, scaling out up here, right? So up here and up here and up here, I was telling everybody, hey, take shorts, take some profits, make sure you're hedged with downside protection, especially when we're in this range down here, when we're in critical territory, you gotta be hedged, right? So up here, everybody gets bullish, so bullish, and nobody listens to me. They want a long, and there's so much people getting wrecked. Now, not nobody, right? But a lot of people are like, I want to hold on, I want to go to the moon, I want to long up here, and they get wrecked. Down here, the questions that I get are we selling? Are we selling? Are we selling? Are we panic selling? Like, no, this is long territory. We're in the bottom of a neutral formation in the middle of a range. Like, why would you panic sell here, right? Can you imagine psychology is like, hey, we're in the bottom of a neutral formation, let's panic sell. Or, hey, we're at the top of a neutral formation, let's FOMO buy, right? So I'll say this every single week because I don't think enough people listen, but we're at the bottom of the range or neutral formation. You want to look for longs and buys. Top of the range, you want to look for sells and shorts, or at least hedge, right? Up here, we got in some massive shorts. We got into more shorts again down here. And, top of the triangle again, this was other confluences. So we're in some nice shorts coming down here. So if price goes down, we're in a very comfortable spot, right? Because our shorts are getting paid. And down here, now we're in longs. If price shoots back up, well, our longs will get paid. So, if you're down here and you're panicking, are we going to plummet? Just make sure that you pay attention to these weekly videos. And next time we come up here, you either take shorts, you either hedge, or you either start taking some profits off of your altcoins or Bitcoin holdings. So now that we have that settled, kind of beating a dead horse here, but we need to do it again. So last week we had some longs coming up here. We had that epic Elon Musk tweet short that I called literally to the dollar ahead. Now we're in shorts from here and here, and now we're in longs from down here, down here, down here. We still have shorts from here, 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 and 59K, right? So think about this. We're in shorts, 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 longs, longs, longs. So this is the strategy here. People get so bored of ranges, which I'll talk about later, but this range could go on for a long time. People get so bored of ranges, but this is the perfect trading environment. We're accumulating longs and shorts that we've taken profits on and stop loss on entry, so they're risk-free. So the longer this range goes on, the more longs and shorts that we accumulate. So let's say if this comes down a couple more times and we have 5 longs and 5 shorts, well, whichever way it breaks, we have zero risk on the trades that are wrong, and on the trades that are right, they're going to fly, right? So once this range breaks, we're going to be sitting in a very pretty position instead of panicking on being the wrong side of the trade. That's what happened up at this range, right? We were short, long, and many shorts up here. So if the range broke up, our longs were going to the moon. But since it broke down, all of our shorts up here got paid really hard, all the way down to 30K, right? So just reiterating that again. So harping on that. So that's pretty much last week. We had a phenomenal week trading the triangle exactly as I planned. If you paid attention to the weekly video, you absolutely cashed out. So pay attention to this weekly video, right? Higher term time frame. So last week I talked about, you can check out the video if you haven't, but I talked about and presented all the evidence as to why we're still in a bull run. I would say there's still 80% chance that we're in a bull run, and about a 20% chance that we could be in a bear market, and a very abnormal one. So the odds are still higher, but we still have to prepare for a bear market. So what I would say is, as long as we're above 20K, we're okay, right? And as long as we're below 50K, we still have to be in downside protection. So hedging and looking for shorts as long as we're below 50K. So write that one down. And as long as we're above 20K, which is the previous all-time high breakout, I would say if we start inching below 22K, this is in trouble territory. So, and just so you know, take note of this. If we break below 20K right here, I'll even mark this out for the video for the record. We're going to about 9K. So as a higher time frame plan, if you see us breaking below 20K, I would get out of most of your altcoins. I would either massively short your Bitcoin or switch to Tether and look to rebuy back in at 9K or lower, right? So this is the point of control where all the volume is. This is where the support is. Between 20K and 9K, there's not really much, there's not a whole lot of built up support. We didn't spend a lot of time really above the 10K mark, and you know, there's really not really, I'll show you guys right here. There's not a lot built up in this range, right? See, all the volume only goes up to about 11K. All the massive volume is between, I even go back. Ooh, that, you don't want to pull it back there. That goes back to 6K. So if we just go to this range, I mean, there's a high volume node at 6K, at 8K, at 9K, and there's from 20K all the way down to 11K. There's really nothing. So this is potential free fall territory right here. Not a whole lot of support. And in past bull runs, we've never broken the previous all-time high breakout, so this would be a change of behavior. So if we breach about this right here, if we breach about the 22K mark, I would look for downside protection and look to rebuy in somewhere between 9K to 6K. Not looking for that to happen, full disclaimer. This is probably a 10 to 20% chance of happening, but we have to prepare for the downside first, right? So another thing I'll show you that actually lines up with 9K is past two bear markets. This one about a 86% pullback. Our previous one, 84% pullback. So average 85% pullback. If we go and do, okay, from all-time high to about 9K, what do you get? 86%. So you're right in that average pullback range. So $9,000, keep an eye on that if we were to breach this threshold. But as it stands, as long as we're above 24K, 24.5K, I don't look for that as a high probability. But make sure that if we start drifting down here, that's what your downside plan is, okay? Because altcoins we've seen, they retrace over 95%. So I'll show you guys here. Just a random altcoin, right? Like let's even go to Ethereum. Okay. Let's go to Coinbase. Okay. So last bull market high to low, almost 95% retrace, and that's Ethereum. Let's go to XRP. All my XRP fans, you don't want to look at this one. Last bull market high to the absolute low, 96%. Litecoin. Okay. last bull market high to the low, 95%. So altcoins do not survive. So this is why if we break that range, you probably want to get out. There's very few altcoins that survive, and you're looking at massive downside for altcoins, right? Probably another 80% from where we are, if not more. Some of them absolutely go to zero. So want to make sure you guys are prepared for that. So other higher time frame days to pay attention to is right around June 11th and July 5th. These are the next two Fibonacci time pivots. So the last two caught the absolute low. So I'm thinking on the 11th, this could actually be the low or the high put in that moves towards one of these targets to be hit at the next Fibonacci time pivot, or it could be the one that hits it, right? So Fibonacci time pivots don't tell you direction, but whichever way it breaks, this gives you a clue. So what we can do is, for example, if we swing failure the low of this range, it could very well play out that this time pivot is the low put in again, and it goes to the high, so 50K on July 21st. So with that being said, Bitcoin likes to put in all these long form consolidations. So don't be surprised. We're in a massive range between 24.5 to 50K for like the next 3 months. So that would bore the heck out of people, but that's what market makers love to do, get people bored. And if we're continuing on the bull run, just from here until, so we're July, August, September, October. So maybe now until October, we just do nothing and then it just takes off on you. So this is why I bring these updates, because actually range trading is so profitable that if we actually range for the next 3 months, that would be an absolute dream. That would just be massively profitable. But that's something to keep an eye on. So I would say this is the potential from about 24K to 50K. This is, or from here to 50K even, a very likely range for, I would say, at least a month, maybe up to 3. And we're about 3 weeks matured in this consolidation range from 30K to 42K. This range on its own could break out very soon and start going towards one of those targets, right? But I would not breakout trade. I've shown you that breakout traders have a really low statistic of winning, and you absolutely get wrecked. So this is the higher term perspective view. So a couple of swing trades that I posted last week. We have this swing short right around 50K, and then we have the swing long right around 24K, seen the last week's video. Added a couple on here. So we have a potential, and this one is very specific, right? So we have the support region coming in around the about 28 to 29K of the last lows. So this trade I would not preset for. So what I would do with this swing long is, if we were to go up, there's a very good possibility Bitcoin comes and takes the lows of 30K, grabs all the stops and liquidities before going up, right? So it can come a little bit below these lows too. So all these stops from the previous, parabolic move right here, these can get grabbed too. So this is a swing area to where I would wait until this finds support and find on the way up, right? So even if it comes back into the 30K range, finds acceptance, if you miss $1,000 of price action, it doesn't matter, because this is probably going up to 43, 50K. So I would not risk catching a falling knife in case this goes to 24K and goes back up. Another swing trade right here is right at the 43. So this is the 382 of the overall, the all-time high to our previous low. This is the 382 right at 43,100. So this is your next potential swing short trade. And pay close attention. If we are to get up here and we don't just shoot through in one big parabolic candle, this starts getting some slow rejections. I would take some profits on your altcoins, take some profits on your Bitcoins, hedge short, or take some short trades, right? So what's going to happen is, if we come up here and we just don't shoot through right away, and we start hovering around here, and you don't take shorts and it starts coming down, and we break the 30K range, right? Because if this gets rejected again, we're probably breaking the 30K range. So if this gets rejected and we're all the way down here, and you're asking me, hey Mike, should I sell at 30K? No, the answer was at 43K. This you're kind of late to the party here, right? So you're gonna wish you had done something up at 43K. So pay close attention to that. So that's all the swing, the swing shorts that I have. We're still in this symmetrical triangle as it stands. At the time of recording this video, I believe we're back inside the triangle now. Here's my chart. Yep, we're back inside. Another fake out to the downside. So if you panic sold, the breakdown of the triangle again, wrecked, right? So don't trade those breakouts. So we're still in this symmetrical triangle, and actually the ending date is right around the 10th or 11th, right? So the apex of this is coming around right around the 10th or the 11th if you extrapolate these lines, almost to the 11th, which is actually, if you remember, lines up with the Fibonacci time pivot. And I had this Fibonacci time pivot before this symmetrical triangle formed. Note. So a couple of things lining up here. So right now it's, we're already in trades. If you're not in trades, this is the time to be patient and see which direction it goes. So even though I gave you the swing trades, all of the intraday trades get posted in here. So there's new trades that just get updated in here and posted that are not the swing trades. Okay, so this is just for the higher term time frame and what to look for, because what ends up happening is you can plan these out ahead of time, but a lot of times depending on the price action, the daily intraday trades they pop up later. So that's our higher term time frame view of it. All the new levels are posted in the weekly plan. Want to take note of all the naked point of controls and all the daily and weekly closes. We did have a monthly close too, so I need to mark that one out for you guys. I'll do that for you a little bit later. Here's all the range volume. So right now we're hovering towards the value area low of the range, so we should be looking for longs. If we look at the exo chart, this is all the sessions merged right here. We have a very balanced formation right here. A little bit more volume towards the top, so we spend a lot more time in volume transacting towards the top of the range. And if you look at towards the bottom of the range, this is getting very thin. So I'd be careful if we come down here, because we could literally just take out everything right here all the way down to taking out the lows at 30K. So if it starts plummeting, still look for longs, but I would just be a little bit more careful presetting for a swing trade. So that is about it for the higher term time frame perspective, and I would say more for the intraday stuff. As you guys know, we have a long right here. Be very careful, that's still valid. We have another long at 32.6. That would be a classic fake out right here. We have a couple of levels down here at 32.6. That would be a nice fake out before taking it up. But I would say, if we just range in here and do one of these for the next couple of days, I would not be surprised. And keep in mind, around the 11th and around, I believe it was July 5th, are the two key Fibonacci time pivots to look for. So if there's a big crash and a wick down on the 11th, or right around the 11th, so let's say if we do this, right, and this is how you look out for the 11th. If we start doing this, and then right around the 11th, that is not a likely path, but right around the 11th, we come down here, take the lows as I mentioned, so eyes open, and do one of these and start wicking back up with a giant wick right around the 11th on that fib time pivot. This, and then it reclaims the 30K. As I mentioned, this is a very nice swing long. Or if you can catch the bottom right here, if you're good at reading volume profiles, very nice swing long. On the flip side, if we start doing one of these, and 50K was a level, if we start pumping, 50K was one of the levels, and we hit it on the 11th right there, that would be, look for shorts there. All right, that's the power of the fib time pivots. That could be a major high or a major swing low. So those are the other two. And one other thing I want to point out too, so we do have a CME gap. I believe it was right around the 37.1K somewhere. So that'll probably get filled. So I think it's very likely that we start visiting the top of the range. You know, further contributing to the theory of doing one of these. And one other thing I want to mention, right? So yesterday, I believe it was a major country announced. Let me look it up here. Let's go to. So we actually have our own news channel right here, just brand new. It pulls all the major news. So I believe it was a major. There we go. El Salvador plans to make Bitcoin legal tender. So one thing that I do want to point out, this was announced yesterday somewhere around here. We dropped and we dropped again, right? So the people. So this is why it's important to, if you get a chance, to view market secrets and psychology and game theory. This is part 1 and part 2 right here. Okay. Because if you think about it, if you're the type of person that thinks the news and fundamentals is what moves price, unfortunately, you are very mistaken, especially in the cryptocurrency world. News follows the technicals. So a lot of times you'll see the news come out, but I guarantee you, by the time the news comes out, the big players are already in position, and I guarantee you, there's an 80% chance we already found it in the technicals, and we're already in long positions if it pumps, and we're already in short positions if it dumps, right? That's why we're able to be in short positions before the big Elon Musk dump. That's why we were in long positions before the Elon Musk pump, because it was all in the technicals. Because think about this, a major country, this could be the first, now I don't really keep up with the news, but this could be the first major country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, setting precedents, and this is fundamentally huge, right? So why didn't price go up, right? If price was all driven off of news, it would have done one of these, right? Instead, we were looking for shorts. So, just really think about that for a second, and watch the market psychology video to really get an understanding of why everything works in this market. So, long story short, summary of what I think we're going to do in this range. I think, and you can't really trade off of opinions, but we do have setups for each scenario. If we break down, if we break up, all the swing trades, and even the even the worst case scenario that we're in a bear market, which I do not think. I think we're about 60 to 7% likely to first reach 50K and possibly reject on the first go, and we'll see if that's a bull trap, or if that gets continuation and we just never look back, right? So likely scenario number 1, I think we're more likely to play around this range and then maybe break up, and then this is decision time. So I think that's the most likely scenario from here. I would say second likely, maybe about a 30% chance that we do one of these, swing failure, grab all the liquidity, and then go to 50K. Okay, so 50K is up here. And then I would say there's maybe about a 5 to 10% chance that from here we go down to the 24 area that I had to swing long for, and then continue up. And I would say from here there's maybe about less than a 5% chance that we're in a bear market and go all the way down to 9K. So because if we're in a bear market, I saw some titles, if we break 30K, we're going to 17K. There's nothing at 17K. So we're going, if we break 20K, we're going to 9K or 6K very likely. So so that is it. If there's any questions, feel free to type it in the Discord, or you could shoot us a DM on the Instagram, and look for updates and look for new trade setups to be put in the Crypto BTC channel. So other than that, let's have another phenomenal week. Last week was phenomenal. Last month was absolutely insane. Oh, so I'm sure you guys have all seen this posted in the group, but if you haven't, last month we closed with 44 wins, 2 losses, 96% win rate, almost 420,000 pips. So now, to be fair, a lot of it was the shorts from the 59K region. But hey, sometimes a month, and look at all these shorts. So sometimes a month will be like that, where on one trade you catch 50,000 pips on one trade. So sometimes it's like that. But hey, once if you range trade properly and you set up longs and shorts from the range, this is what you get. So um, not a typical month, but I think we'll have at least another, 150,000, 200,000 pip month. So let's have another great week, and I'll see you guys in the channel.